Hi, everybody. This is Karen Willock from Treehouse Recovery. I'm the director of the family program. So here's some tips for you when you realize that you've hit bottom in a codependent relationship or just codependency in general. It's really, really important to take some proactive steps to begin your journey. And like we've said before, you don't have to begin the journey after them. You can begin the journey before them. So the first thing is to acknowledge the problem. We've talked about that. Before I'm going to do something about something, I have to admit that there's something to do. So I'm not going to treat a problem I don't have. The first step, of course, is recognizing that I'm hitting bottom and what's causing the distress in my life. Then you might seek professional help. This would be the family program at Treehouse offers information about some basic education about addiction, the limbic system, communication, boundaries. It's a 12-week program, so it's pretty comprehensive about what it covers and teaches you and allows you to practice. Plus, you get to find a tribe of people. You actually belong to a group you never wanted to belong to. So you're with people who get it. You don't have to explain why you stay up all night thinking. The next thing is maybe join a support group. There's all kinds. There's Smart Recovery. There's 12-Step Recovery. There's Codependence Anonymous. There's Celebrate Recovery. There's Al-Anon. Codependence Anonymous I like in particular because their primary purpose is to develop a healthy relationship with myself and others. And that was what I was after. Finding a safe place where you can share experiences, learn from others. With our family program, we also have an alumni group that meets once a month, and it's been meeting now, I think we're on group 25 or 26. Some of the folks from the very first group still attend the alumni. Some people don't attend for a year, and then they show up, and to keep the wiring firing, so to speak. Educate yourself. For heaven's sakes, Google codependency. There's a million books out there. I read a good one here recently. It's called Living in the Solution by Verta LaRue. It talks about the drugs of choice that we talked about in one of the videos. There's so many good books out there about boundaries. So do some investigating. Go on an education search like you were searching for them. Setting boundaries, and we're going to do a video on boundaries and talk about how to set a boundary, but just briefly in 3 small steps. I feel uncomfortable when you show up late. I feel uncomfortable and angry when you show up late when we committed to a time. Third boundary is I feel angry when we've committed to a time and you don't show up. Should that continue, I won't be scheduling with you as often. Do you see how clear that is? That's not being a jerk or anything. That's not being mean-spirited. It's simply saying, this is what I'm willing to do and this is what I'm not willing to do. Think about a time that you asked somebody to go somewhere and they said, no, I really don't want to. It's kind of a relief, to have people tell the truth instead of saying yes when they don't want to. Go away, Gertie. So with this, that we have another video about saying no. That's a good reference for this because no is a complete sentence. When you start explaining and telling people why you're not going to do something, they're just going to talk you out of it. So there's a video about that you might find interesting. So learning to say no, and sometimes just practicing saying it out loud when nobody's around. No, no, no. Just hear yourself saying no. Protecting your own well-being is vital if you want to recover from burning out with this serious disease. Exercise, starting to eating right, doing some mindfulness, meditating, finding the hobbies that you enjoy, looking at things out there that are important to you. Who do you want to be? Everybody gets to write their own story. You get to define who you are. So finding things that you love to do. That's what I mean by self-care. It's great to go to a spa and all that, but sleep hygiene, eating right, doing some exercise, carving out some time for yourself, relaxing, creating, finding your tribe, visiting, connection, Our society has a loneliness epidemic right now. Finding your people and having time to spend with them. Though that's what I'm talking about. Self-care that's a natural part of your life every day. Identify your triggers. Know what triggers you. I remember when Joe was they were living in, as we all know, many of these RVs. They were living in one. I would go out to see them on Saturdays for a couple of hours. And on my way there, I would stop and I'd do the box breathing, which we talked about in another video, of calming my limbic system down, getting myself anchored. And we're going to do more videos about triggers and anchors and how do I calm myself? How do I get to my best self? Consider detaching. Sometimes you have to take a break. You really do. Sometimes if I'm triggered, I don't answer the phone. My first responsibility is to manage my own triggers. If I'm waiting for the world to change so I'm never triggered, I'm going to be very disappointed. So my job is to stop, drop my shoulders, ask myself what just happened, breathe until I'm neutral. That's when it's time to re-engage. Think about it. When was the last time that you had an interaction when you were reacting and highly triggered that went well? Very rarely, when we're spewing words, does it go well. So when I'm dealing with my loved one in active addiction, I want to be in my best thinking, not in my worst reacting. Focus on your goals. You know, what do you want to do? Where do you want to be? Stay committed to your own recovery. And this is how I look at it. If you don't put the time in, you don't get the prize. It's that simple. You don't do the work, you don't get it. It's not rocket science, just the way it is. My commitment and my time commitment and my personal commitment is all I got to do. And when I stop obsessing about other people and trying to fix everything about them and focus on what I do have some control over, I have enough time. Consider professional interventions. You know, you can always talk to us. Our admissions team is great at talking to your people if you'll call us. So those are just a few tips on what you can start doing for yourself that can start helping you get healthy, which then allows them to have the space to come to the end of themselves. So again, please let us know if we can be helpful in any way. Contact us. All of our information will be included at the description of this video. Thank you.